Hi, this is Jeffrey. Welcome. This is Ray of Hope. I am a healer. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a painter. I do a lot of things. I have some natural light. I didn't for a while. The sun went in. Now the sun is out. Yay, hooray. I'm unpacking my cards. There's no noise in the hallway. However, I do live in the middle of New York. So, we probably won't hear planes, but we might hear other sounds from the city. I did hear a plane yesterday. It was so shocking. There was an airplane flying. It's like, oh, we don't hear airplanes here anymore. It's very strange. Anyway, today is the new moon. And it's the new moon in Leo. That's why I'm wearing pink. I know, is that good? Yeah, I think that works. I know, it should be red or orange, but this is the closest I have. I don't have an orange hat. Wish I did. Wish I had an orange hat. I want a green hat too. I have a lot of hats. Love me my hats. Keep your head warm and away from the sun, and you don't lose them. And then when the sun moves, and I don't have hair, and then when the sun moves, I move my hat. It's wonderful. Okay, so I am going to do a reading for the collective for this next cycle. And then I'll probably also break it up, but I think I'm going to put it in one video because on and off and record and don't record and oh my gosh. Anyway, that is that. So as you can see, I paint. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, there's that pretty painting. I don't want to show you how messed up my ceiling is. There's that pretty painting in my spice rack, which is infamous. And that one, I'm in my kitchen. But it's like, do you really want to see my kitchen cabinets? I don't want to see someone's kitchen cabinets. Anyway, the oven isn't on. Shuffling away. Someone just gave me this deck. It's the Rider-Waite. My old deck, or my previous deck, I should say. I've been using for, oh my God, 20 years or something. Sorry to show it, you know. It's like there's a stain, something here, and then honey got on it, pulled off part of the card. Anyway, these are brand new. And I'm going to do a reading for the collective. And I don't know how I'm going to work this out. I wish I could figure it out, how to do this and the reading, me and the reading at the same time. Some people were able to do it. Okay. Away we go. Okay, I'm going to show it to you as, okay. So our first card is a Chariot. So the Chariot is all about movement. The Chariot, I also feel like I'm already going there. The Chariot is all about movement. It's all about swiftness. The Chariot also is interesting because it's Cancer, and we're coming out of Cancer, and we're moving into, well, we're out of Cancer. I think in this past few months, we've had this opportunity to look at our shadow, to combine the shadow and the light. Hence, I love that word. Whence and hence, wonderful word. Whilst, being able to use that a lot. Whilst. At the same time as, you know, whilst. He's combined them. He's combined them. So I feel that in the past few months has been a lot of healing going on. This is the card of the moon. And there's a lot of healing that's been going on internally. He's crossed by the Hermit. The Hermit is the card of Virgo. The Hermit is fascinating. one of my favorite cards. So the Hermit is all about solitude, wisdom. It's all about, for me, the Hermit is about self-knowledge. So he's walking through the snow, right? He's walking through hell. And it's his inner light that's guiding him. And his inner light, I feel like, because we've gone through this, and this is crossed by it, this is a nice combo. Because this is he's very emotional, and this one is ruled by Mercury. So he is very I want to say intellectual, not intellectual so much, but he's able to put things to, Virgo is very good at like organizing and putting things together, at organizing thought, right? It's ruled by Mercury. So this is a nice combo to come through. Okay. At the bottom, this is upside down. It came through upside down. I don't really read that many upside down cards, but it came up through upside down. I was like, yes. So the 5. Okay. There. Interesting. Both of these are snow. It's so hot here today. It's not that hot, but it was. Today's the first day I have without the air conditioning, and well, yesterday as well, but for like a month. It's been on 24/7 for a month. There's always choices involved here. The 5 is always right in the middle. Look at how it moves. Isn't that amazing? The 5, and all of the 5s are really about change. So this card can be about exile. This card could be about unemployment, destitution. It being upside down, I feel like you have to make a decision as to whether you're going to leave the hope and the light and the church, right? Or the church is symbolic. It's not about the church. It's about spiritual things. Or you're going to go back into the church, or you're heading into the church. So the big question here is like, are they leaving, or are they approaching? Right? What are they doing here? This could also be sometimes about letting go of destitution, letting go of people who are living in a state of destitution. It doesn't mean like if your friend needs money, you're not going to give them money. What it means is you're letting go of people whose mindset is that of, oh, things are awful, and they're going to be awful, and they continue to be awful, and blah, 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 blah. You keep on hanging around people like that, and you start thinking like that. So it's important really now. Look, I haven't really had a television for 30 years, right? And I haven't really, what I don't plug into with the news is, sometimes even the weather, it's like they're expecting a storm, and every little storm, like 2 or 3 inches of rain becomes a deluge, and sprinkles of snow becomes a blizzard. And so you have to rely on your inner self and your heart to say, is that really true? Is that really true? I don't know about that, there are certain things that come up on the news, And I automatically feel like, there's more to that story. Or, what are they trying to like not tell us? So I think it's about relying on yourself as an inner guide. I think that's what's going on. On the top of the deck, we have our apprentice master, right? So he's either. What always strikes me about this card is he's so good at his craft and he's so involved in his work, which is a wonderful thing to do. It's like if you don't have, so I'm alone, I live alone, and I've been living alone, like really alone, since this whole Mishigas began. And there are days where I could drive myself crazy. There are days that I'm just lost. And so I've had to make myself busy. I've had to take on things to do. Like, okay, so my goal is to reorganize all the books on my bookshelves. It doesn't even matter if they need reorganization. Am I going to do it by shape? Am I going to do it by size? Am I going to do it by topic? Am I going to do it alphabetically? Am I going to do it by language? I mean, I know that I have a lot of foreign language books, but so I've been keeping myself busy. I've been keeping myself busy and getting so deep into my work that I can't really get into all this craziness. So I think it's really important, just like it's important what you eat, right? It's important to put healthy food into your body. It's also important to mind what you put into your mind. So am I watching, movies that are centered on the end of the world? Am I watching a lot of violence? What am I watching? What's my reality? What reality am I tuning into? What am I doing? What am I doing? I think, where am I? Am I heading toward the light? Or am I saying, oh, I don't need hope. I'll just go out in the snow. Okay. And, the snow in this one doesn't represent, glistening with music in the background. It's not pretty snow. Snow is great from the window, when it's glistening and it's sort of, what's the word? Where it picks up different color, not effervescent. Effervescent is something else. It's kind of holographic in a way, right? It's like sequins that I put on dresses. It's like all colors all at once. It's kind of fantastic. And then, you go out and it's all slushy and you're slipping and it's cold and it's like hitting your face and, and then it melts and it leaks. So like, where am I? Okay. In the past, so it's almost as if in the past you had plans, right? You had a lot of plans and it's almost like, okay, so we're like standing here just kind of waiting. Sort of anticipatory of, oh, well, I invested in this or invested my time in this and I thought it was going to end up being this. And then everything, was like, oh, I don't know about that. This might not be the best time to open up a retail store. Maybe it's not the best time to open a retail store in a mall. Okay. Coming up, news. News. So do not be surprised if, this is for the collective, so do not be surprised if some harsh news comes through fast, like in the next couple of days. Don't be surprised. Pretty blue. Okay. So this is the guy that girl, individual, the Knight, that builds things slowly. And I'm so prepared. I turned off my phone. I'm so proud of myself. Because I turn off your phone, get your glasses, get your tea. You never know, because I do like to talk. Sort of slow and steady wins the race. So with him, and this one, oh, it helps. Oh, I want to show you my pretty fabric. Look at my pretty fabric. Ooh. Oh, it's a bandana. I made it. I'm going to attach all the links below of all the stuff that I make and la 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 la. Okay. I think like you've had time to think about where you want to go and what you want to do and how you're going to build something new. And so now might be the time to pour the foundation. You know, or to decide what, I'm using metaphorically, you know, what plot of land am I going to build on? You know, where am I going to put my energy? And, you know, there's been disappointment in the past, and you know what I'm really getting more than anything? Since everything is so unstable, and since everything is so unsure at this time in our lives, at this time on the planet, and this time, you know, politically, socially, medically, every other Lee, Bruce Lee, Peggy Lee. Those are the most famous Lees I could come up with. Robert E. Lee. The foundation really needs to be an internal foundation. That's where you build. So let's say you want to do something with raising animals. It's like, sometimes you have this idea in mind and it's very sure and played out. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and that's going to lead to C. And then, you know, A is nowhere to be found, and B is on vacation, and C, etc. Got me? I should have shaved. You don't have to throw, what I'm trying to get to is, you don't have to throw away the baby with the bathwater. The kernel is there. Build on the kernel. You know, it may not be exactly the way you saw it, but you can do things to put your plan in action on a certain level, or maybe you take the whole plan and you're moving it somewhere else. Maybe you're taking your retail store and moving it online. Like, that would be a good example. Or, you know, you want to do X, Y, or Z, and, you know, well, I thought I would do it in the garage, but the garage, someone's living in the garage. So, can I manage to do this in the living room? Or, I thought I was going to, you know, move overseas, say, with this, you know, and open a coffee shop or something. Can I do it virtually? Can I open it still while directing people online? That sounds very complicated. You have to be flexible. This is the time to be flexible. I'm not the most flexible person at all. And, you know, even just exercising that out can be very trying. But, you know, if you wake up in the morning, right? And I found, so I'm not very limber. That's a good example. I'm not very limber. So if I make a decision to work at, you know, bending my back every day, like the first day, it'd be like, I can move like that much, you know? And then within like 2, 3, 4 weeks, all of a sudden it was like, you know, can I do exactly what I want to do? No. But am I closer to my goal? Yes. Yes. If you just sit around and don't do anything and just ponder and wonder, nothing's going to happen. It's important to let go of the past. You know, this is all, yeah, you need to let go. You need to let go. It's the end of something. I feel like, even though we're in the middle of what we're in the middle of, I feel like individually and internally, a lot of the shock and the pondering and wonder and worry and anxiety is like, okay, you know, it's sort of like we got hit by a tornado, right? And then, you know, you're in shock. It's like there's no roof, there's no yard, there's no front door, and you're like, and now it's time to say, okay, I feel like we've been there for like months. And now it's time to say, okay, I can't live outside. So, you know, maybe you're planning on rebuilding the house, maybe you're not. But tonight, you need to have a roof over your head. So, does that mean going to the community gymnasium because they opened for people? Does that mean going to live with a relative? Does that mean maybe your neighbor has a roof and they invited you to stay? What does that mean? So it's time to figure that one out, you know, kind of a day at a time, living day at a time. And honestly, this is a very difficult transition because I think a lot of people haven't really had a relationship with themselves and a relationship with spirit. And this is not, this is so not I told you so. This is so not that. I have a really I've been meditating for many years. So I have a safe place to go inside myself, right? And but a lot of people this is new to them. To like really go inside and, to really rely on your heart and your passion really to guide you. So there's so many resources out there. And actually, my plan is to eventually do meditation videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's so funny because whenever you tell people that you meditate, right, the first question everyone asks, I would say like 90% of the people, how long does it take? Everyone is so oriented toward, well, what do I get out of it? What you get out of it is giving yourself a gift of 5 or 10 or 15 minutes every day of being quiet. What you get is communing with yourself. What you get is, it's kind of like a day at the beach. It's like, okay, well, some days at the beach is a little windier than others, and some days at the beach the water is a little colder than others, and some days at the beach is more crowded than others, right? But it's still a day at the beach. Oh, but it's raining. It's still a day at the beach. That's what it is. It's a day at the beach. And I'm not talking about the beach, as a hurricane has arrived. I'm talking about the beach that's a pleasant day at the beach, where the sun is shining. It's not very cloudy, right? Every day at the beach is going to be different. Every day at the beach is going to be different. And it's like, oh, well, I hope the ice cream guy shows up. I don't know if I never go to the beach anymore, but when I was a kid, there'd be people who sold ice cream at the beach, and they'd always wear tube socks. This is the 70s. They'd always wear tube socks way up to their knee, and like these heavy-duty sneakers that I guess sand couldn't get through. I mean, really, the sand's getting through. But boy, was that hard work. And they'd go around with their ice cream or ices, mostly ice cream, because you could. It came in a package, so like the paper would protect it from the sand. And or they'd sell water. Mostly, I remember the ice cream, because it's like, who wants to take ice cream at the beach? It's enough to bring a sandwich and fruit and stuff. It's like, oh, God, ice cream too. That means I need a freezing thing. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, while we're at the beach together, I certainly hope that the ice cream man shows up. And I hope they have every flavor, because it's like, oh, you don't have that one. Oh, okay, I'll take the strawberry shortcake. Don't you love it when kids complain? It's like, I can't get everything I want. It's like, well, kid, that's life. You can't get everything you want, but you know what? There is some strawberry shortcake ice cream, whatever that's made out of. God knows. It was so fake. It was so like this color. No, it wasn't. It was kind of like a pale pink with like a toasted almond outside. Oh my God, it was so disgusting. So delicious. And now I really, I'm very serious about what I eat. And, but every so often, I do treat myself to some really processed. It's not even good. It's almost like the memory, it doesn't even taste good. Is this good as a peach? No. Does it taste as good as a plum? No. Does it taste as good as watermelon? No. But it's so fake and disgusting, and it's melting, and it's got all kinds of awful chemicals that are, blue. Okay, now I'm going to do, so the way to deal with the outer world is to have an inner life, basically. And through the station, I'm going to encourage, be enthusiastic about it. That's my job. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is my job. Now I'm going to split them up. And since we're still in Leo, I'm going to start with fire. I'm going to do fire. Okay. I don't know the order yet. I think I'm just going to do 3. All right. Well, you have 2 pages. So actually, a new moon is the perfect time. This is the new moon. Welcome to the new moon. I'm so glad the sun is participating with me today. Because for a minute, the clouds rolled in and I was like, oh, do I have to do this video tomorrow? I really want to do it today. Anyway, here I am doing it today. You have 2 pages. So that considering that and considering the last, yeah, who do you have? I'm wondering. I know you're wondering. Right? I think it's time for you to get started in building something. You have a new idea of some sort of business or some sort of way. It could even be you have a new idea about budgeting. You have a new idea about maybe starting a business or making money. And it's time to start. This is it. This is it. It's like, well, I don't really know what's happening, and maybe I can increase my income by doing this, doing that, selling this, budgeting that. Yeah. And you might have to leave some people behind. You might have to leave it could be people. You might have to leave some people behind. Or you might have to leave some way of thinking behind. So, well, not mine, we will. Not mine. So, there might have been certain thoughts and certain ways of doing things that would have worked in the past, but are not going to work now. Maybe, like I was saying earlier, it's like, okay, well, I want to start a business, and it's going to be in the garage, but there's somebody living in the garage, so I can't do it in the garage. Can I do it in the yard? Can I do it in the living room? Can I do it at someone else's house? Can I get some help? Well, this wasn't the way I foresaw it. Sometimes it's like I'm trying to get to this town, right? And I have my little car, and the car breaks down, and somebody shows up on a motorcycle and offers me a lift. And it's like, well, I foresaw myself going by car. So, well, that's nice. But, here you are, and there's somebody here who's offering you a lift. And take it. Take the lift. Or somebody, comes by with a jumper cable. It's like, okay, thank you. Oh, but they have a bumper sticker of something I don't agree with. So, really? Suit yourself. I hope you're not in the desert. So, be flexible. Be flexible. But start. Start. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, you got a long wait. You got a long wait. All right. So, I think that the fire signs should begin. And also, this is a really good time to set your intention and set something toward it. You know, a lot of times I have like a plan, right? I have a plan, and sometimes all I need to do is just take one action a day. Just take the one action a day, do the action, and then relax a little bit. It's like, oh no, it all has to be done by the end of the day. Well, you know, if it's 11 o'clock at night and you're working without electricity, it might be better off waiting until tomorrow. I'm not saying, I'm saying begin it. I'm not saying you have to finish it. I'm saying you have to, I would suggest you begin it. Okay, now I'm putting that back, and then I'm going to go into Earth because Virgo is next. You know what I mean? I'm sort of doing it like that. It's a weird way to do it, but that's what I'm doing. All right, away we go. I would love to shuffle like this way, right? I tend to shuffle the other way. It's just, and then some tarot readers, they use these cards that are this big. It's like, how do you do that? Let me see if I can shuffle that way. I think I can. Ah, ah, mucho drama. I practice Spanish every day. Friend in Mexico, we WhatsApp and we text and talk every day. It's very exciting learning language. Because I think every language has their own way of communicating. And I think that there are things that you can say in one language you can't necessarily say in another. All languages have their own idioms, which are always delightful. And these old parables, you know, sometimes they have the same ones, but sometimes they have the same gist in this whole new way. It's like it's a good way to open your mind. All right, Earth. Da, 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 da. Up, up, up. Okay. Okay. Well, interestingly, you got this as well. Um, so for the Earth signs, okay. So this is the middle card. Waiting for ships to come in. And interestingly, you know, you got grief. You know, grief. This is grief, heartache. You got the Fool. So this is definitely time. It's time for you to let go of the grief. You need to let go of the grief and move forward. You need to let go of the grief and move forward. You know, this guy, he's got his hand on this one, but you know, if the story is to continue, he's got to turn around and grab this pole and, you know, either like go home or go to his factory or go to his to another port or go, you know, become a baton twirler. You felt the grief. You know it's there. We all know it's there. You cannot live there. It's not good for you. You felt it. It went through you. Now it's time to begin an new journey. You know, so many people. It's very easy to live in the past. It's very easy to live in this person did wrong to me, and if only, if only, if only. You're never going to be able to put on a new outfit. You're never going to be able to move into a new state of being until you feel it and let it go. Let it go. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm saying it is there. It's been there. And it's time to feel it and move forward. Because if you keep on going on and on about, oh, before everything was this and before everything was that, yeah, I know. It's kind of like, you know what I like to think of it as? I mean, not that I grew up in a small town, but like, it's almost like you grew up in a small town, right? And there's some guy that lives in town, and he was a war hero, right? And that's the only song he sings. That's the only song he sings. He's still wearing his outfit, and he still wants to tell you about how he climbed up the hill and saved the day. Okay, wonderful. We heard that story. We know who your mates were. We know that you climbed up the top of the hill. You're very brave. We thank you. Take off the outfit. You know, it's like, who wants to hear the same story over and over? You know, there's always somebody in the family. It's like telling that same story. And that's what we do to ourselves. We tell ourselves the same story over and over. And a lot of times it's not a positive story. A lot of times it's like, oh, well, you know, my mother didn't love me, and, you know, therefore, la, 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 la. It's like, okay, what did you learn from it? And how are you going to move on? How are you going to move on? How are you going to move into this new reality? How are you going to make things work? How are you going to move into this new reality and make things work? How are you going to do that? I don't know. Try something. Anything. Get an ice cream maker, make some weird flavors and start selling it. I don't know. Call people. See if they need help. Maybe their idea and your idea combine and become a new idea. I love the Fool. The Fool, his outfit is fantastic. Isn't his outfit fantastic? Not only is he like leaving home and he's got his little bandana and his little trusty, loyal dog, but the inside of his robe is lined. Okay, I went to fashion school. This is not a bad job, right? You know, it's like you don't see the seams. The inside of his robe is lined, very glamorous. He's got this white flower of innocence. He's an optimist. Oh, you can't be an optimist? Well, why not? Well, why not? You know, how well has being a pessimist served you or anyone else? Anyway, he's beginning. You know, without him, we don't have a deck. Without him, there's no story. Without him, there's no story. So, it's also time for you to begin, Earth signs. And the way for you to begin is to let go of the grief. Okay. Next will be Libra, air signs. Sort of doing it that way. I think 2 more. So, how do you know what sign you are? Well, do your horoscope. Now, you also need to look at your horoscope. If you're doing it like that, it's like, let's say you have a Libra sun, but you have, 5 planets in Virgo. Well, you're probably pretty Virgo, you know. Or, let's say you have a Libra sun and you don't have anything else in Libra. You have nothing else in any of the air signs. So you're not very airy. What are you? The other way to do it is you have to know what the rulers are of the, like Libra is ruled by Venus. So where's Venus in your chart? Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So where's Mars in your chart? Or Pluto, or both. Really a combination of both. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Where's Jupiter in your chart? It's like that. So I always look up. I look up all of them except for air because there's very little air in the chart. So, I look up fire, water, and sort of combine them. Okay. And remember, the one that calls you is the one for you. Go where it's warm. And there goes the sun. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting. You have some nice cards. So you have strength right in the middle. Strength is wonderful. Strength's a great card. So strength is about being strong. It's about being courageous. It's about knowing your own worth. It's about, it's also about taming the beast. So this is about sort of calling up your own strength, and letting it be, let it roar. You also have the lady in the garden. Lovely, 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 lovely. This card it's so yellow, gold, Self-sufficient. She's about self-sufficiency. She's in her garden. She worked really hard to get there. She's got a little bird who's talking to her, so it's like spirits talking to her. So these are really lovely cards. The only card that you got that's a little weird is this. Petty conflicts are petty conflicts. Let them be petty conflicts. It's a petty conflict. Don't get wrapped up in this one said, that one said, da, da, da. Eliminate gossip from your life. Eliminate gossip. Gossip doesn't serve you, doesn't serve the people who are gossiping, and doesn't serve the people who are being gossiped about. All this petty stuff, you have much bigger fish to fry. You have your garden to live in. You have your wealth to accumulate. You have your inner strength to rely upon. So do not participate in power struggles in the family. It's like, it's like, do they let them be right? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have much bigger fish to fry. It doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in nothing. It's a skirmish. Like nothing happens. Nothing ends up happening. It's like everyone, it's, you know, it's like little kids on the, when they all have bicycles. And this one from down the block thinks he's the one because he's got the best bell. And the other one has the coolest seat. And the other one has the streamers. And everyone's trying to one up each other. Are we all going to the park to go on the swings or not? You know? Because if not, if everybody wants to do all that, just get on your own bike, whether it's the best one or not the best one, and go to the park and go on the swings. You know, you left the house, you got your bike, you want to go to the park on the swings. You thought all the other kids on the block when they come with you, but everyone's so busy being on the that's nice. See how fast you could ride to the park, you know? Maybe that'll be your challenge. You know, can you do a wheelie on the way? If you're lucky, maybe the guy on the beach, before he went to the beach, is selling ice cream at the park. You never know. Self-sufficiency. This is the self-made woman, right? Self-made person. You know, this is, they're all masculine and feminine. I can't get into all that. And all over, we're all masculine and feminine. Self-sufficiency. You don't need somebody else to tell you what's right or wrong. You know. You have the bird. Your intuition is telling you what's right and what's wrong. I think, I don't really want to do this. I just want to go to the park. I want to go to the park. You know, when you come home, you know, let's say in the middle of the day it starts to get cloudy, right? And well, you had your 2 or 3 hours on the swings and this sliding pond, this, you know, the slide. What do they call that? And the seesaw and the monkey bars. Monkey bars were really scary to me. And you come home, and then like all of a sudden it's getting cloudy. It looks like it might rain. Everyone's still in the corner going. Okay, good for you. I had a day in the park. Because I didn't get involved in your business. Okay. Last but not least. Agua. El agua. Must be agua. I forgot how to say signs. Signos. Like SIGNOS. Signos. The G is so hard in Spanish. Oh my God. Sometimes it's an H, sometimes it's a, oh my God. They don't make a hard G sound. It's very difficult. So I watch these videos about what do you do with your tongue and your mouth. Because what we don't realize is that English is really all in the mouth. All the sounds for English are really made with your tongue and your mouth. It's not here. It's just not. And so many other languages are. So it's sort of like, really. So I'm like trying to teach my friend what to do with how to, you know, practice. Okay, water signs. I'm enjoying doing this. Some people are like, oh, I don't really like doing videos. I feel like I'm reaching somebody. I don't know who or what or where, but on YouTube, I sing my song on the roof. I'm lucky. I'll know where the tomatoes are coming from. Oh God. Oh my God. Isn't it bad enough I'm cooped up in the seeing out the window? Okay. Water signs. Oh, I wish I had that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay. Water signs. Oh, oh, oh. You're not playing. Wow. Well, you also get the Fool. You get the Ace of Cups. Healing. Healing. Right. Prophecy. This can also be prophecy. Well, the water signs are there generally the most psychic, right? You get the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the Pope. Wow, it's a big. You're going to get spiritual gifts. You're going to get. It's like the light is going to shine through. The intuitive light is going to shine through because you're on the new journey. It's almost like there's this wonderful Goethe saying that basically it says, I don't know how he said it, but it basically says when like whatever you can begin, begin it. So when you make that initial step and that initial stride toward your passion or toward your dream, the universe steps in and says, yeah, yeah, we're with you. You know, we'll show you. We'll give you signs. We'll guide you. But if you just sit at home and go, blah, 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 isn't that good? Did I do that well? I wonder what the word for that is. There must be a word. Well, then nothing's going to happen. And, even though even someone else wore the outfit earlier, I don't know who did. Sometimes I do readings and people are like, oh my God, last time you told me this and that, you remember what? No, I don't remember a thing. I don't remember a thing. I really don't. It's as if I get amnesia. It's like, did I say that? They're like, oh, you told me about this and this person. I'm like, I did. And then I go, what card was it? And it doesn't even matter. So, I mean, for me, the way I read cards is like, I know the general meaning of the cards, but, sometimes the fool is the fool, you know. Sometimes the fool's the fool. This one is very interesting. This can mean a lot of things. This could be the government. This could be marriage. This could be institutions. This could be, but it could also be spiritual life. That's what I think it is, especially the Fool and the Ace of Cups together. There's this start, this optimism, this go forward. And I feel like it's like the blessings of the angels are behind you. That's what it feels like. It feels like the blessings of the angels are behind you. But you have to begin. Everyone's in the same position. Everyone's in the same position. It is time to retake our lives. That is the basic premise that has really come through all the readings. And I don't know if I can go that way. I have another deck that, I thought I was prepared for everything. I'm going to go around because if I go, I'm going to unplug. I will be back in moments. Don't hold your breath. It's not good for you. All right. we are going to do, ooh, somebody gave these to me many years ago. I don't really use them that often, but I do like them. It's called the Goddess Guidance Oracle. Okay. So one last one for the collective. Let's see if I can actually see. These are the type of cards that are so big. See, I started something new and spirit was with me, and I didn't even know I did something I didn't even know I could do. I mean, I'm not recommending jumping into a pool if you don't know how to swim. That I'm not. I would love to go to a pool. Oh my God. All right. So, undying love. Isolde is her name. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. How beautiful. Wow. 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 I'm going to show it to you. Lovely, no? I'm even going to read from the book. That's why I have my glasses on. And then I'm going to, I hope that it's alphabetical. Yes. Wow. Okay. Okay, so first I'm going to read a little bit about her because I'm sort of an intellectual. Okay. Oh, she's Celtic. The legendary Celtic goddess was caught in a tragic love triangle, oh my God, between her husband and Tristan, handsome and noble knight. Throughout the scenario, Isolde, oh, it's Isolde and Tristan, that whole like troubadour-ish thing, was courageous in dealing with her respect for her husband and profound love for Tristan. She helps us through the corridors of relationships, love, familial, romantic, parental, and friendship. She reminds us that regardless of the situation, our love is real, powerful, and undying. Call upon Isolde whenever you need help with relationships. Okay. When it comes to matters of the heart, your help is here, all around you and all inside you. Your inner wisdom may seem quieted by any pain that you feel, but be assured that the healing you're undergoing is swift and efficient. And you truly are healing from the inside out. There you go. Look, it's time to let go. It's time to let go of all the trauma and the grief. And it's time to move forward with our lives. That's what it's time to do. For all of us as a collective. You know, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be pain. It doesn't mean that, you know, that there's not longing. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that we have to make the best of a situation. And to be kind and to be loving to ourselves and to others is the way through. That's the way through. That's the way. That's all I have to say today on video. I do rather like the sound of my own voice. Okay. That being said, blessings, 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 and I will see you very, very soon. If you're interested in my artwork or in getting a tarot reading, a healing session, yeah, or you want to share a fantastic, simple recipe with me, the information will be below. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you for your time, and I'm wishing a fruitful and benefic and healthy rest of August to you and yours. Stop recording.